Hey there, I am Joan Buckley Welch, and you are watching or listening to the Chat About Everything podcast coming from Making Connections International. Okay.
Hi, I'm here. I'm
Yes.
Suzette Williams, and I am a licensed professional counselor here in Georgia. I do meet individuals daily on a daily basis. I'm counseling in my virtual practice. So I don't have an in person practice anymore. I decided to just do this virtually for now until I am ready to get back in the office space. But it works well. So why change it if it works, right?
That's my YouTube. Sorry, go ahead.
Okay. So what do you need to know?
Um, if you could just talk about mental health, I know this month is they're talking about suicide prevention. And
Hmm.
just with the kids going back to school and just how important as
Yeah.
parents mental health is, and
Hmm.
also for the children, just preparing them in the mornings to go to school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know there's like new stress when it comes on to like the beginning of the school year, trying to get the kids in school, and it's even more stress these days. And when we hear of the news, it's not really nice, not pretty
Yeah.
out there. We just had a shooting yesterday in Georgia,
Yeah.
and it's devastating what happened. But so even as a therapist, I'm a clinical licensed therapist. However, I can't do this without faith, right?
Yeah.
So that's the pillars. One of the pillar for me in being a therapist. What drove me to it, first of all, was ministry because I
Mhm.
wanted to reach people and encourage just the regular average person. All of us are dealing with mental health. So mental health is like us dealing with our physical health. Um, it's on a continuum. I'm sorry. It's on a continuum where we're all trying to be healthy, right? None of us have perfect health, but we're all trying to get to a place where we're healthy enough, right, where we're able
Yeah.
to live well. And so, mental health is a very important aspect of our health because we're talking about the mind, how we think, how we interact with others on a daily basis, and just how we are able to live mentally with our minds. And so, my endeavor is to help somebody who maybe dealing with a circumstance that is challenging, and they just need some insight, right? They need
Yeah.
some kind of support to know that they can do it, they can make it, they can overcome this thing. And so faith is foundational for me when dealing with my clients, and mostly for those who are coming for that Christian aspect. Some of them don't really care that much about it, but most, I would say, almost 100% of my clients need some element of faith,
Okay.
right, in order to um, be supported. So I would say more than ever, parents need to be praying and put children before God. But on a practical level, I think it's good to have regular meetings with your children just to know what's going on, especially with the difficulty and the challenges of the school year academically and just socially. So I think checking in with them, not just about homework, but how are you doing socially? Are you meeting new friends? Have you said hi to anyone, or has anyone said hi to you? What is the challenge about meeting new people? Because I know for a fact, I have children, they're teenagers, and a few of them are not as bold, a few of them are not as quick to make friends or
Yeah.
apt to make friends. So I'm always checking in to see how their day is going, how are they doing socially,
Mhm.
because it impacts them greatly. Um, but that's just, I think, I mean, every household is unique in how you prepare for the school year. But I
Yeah.
think there are things that most people are doing at the beginning of the school year. They want to make sure that the kids have all the things they need, right, to be
Yeah.
able to function at
The things they
school.
want.
Yeah, all the things they
Sometimes.
want.
Yeah.
Um, um, So I have children with various needs because, of course, my
Mm.
children range from, well, I don't have to worry about my 20-year-old anymore with school.
Yeah, yeah,
But I think about, although I do think about him and where he's going next with his,
right.
career.
Yeah.
But I have my children range from 20 down to 6. So 20, 17, 16, 15, one is 13, and then my 6-year old. So the three boys and the three girls.
Yeah.
And so my concern about them varies because they're at different stages of their lives.
Mhm.
So my concern for my adult is different from my concern for my 6-year old,
Yeah,
obviously, than for my
absolutely.
teenagers. So like for my teenagers, like my daughter, my oldest daughter, Rachel, she's 15. She's in the 10th grade. So, and she's not as outgoing or social. She's very quiet, she's definitely not outspoken. She's she's doing a lot better academically, because her social nature, her emotional social development impacted how she was doing academically.
Oh,
But now I see her coming into that space where she's really doing well academically.
awesome.
But now it's, feeling awkward sometimes, not knowing how to make friends. So
Yeah.
that is an area that I try to work with her as much as possible. I ask her how her day is. Did you even say hi to somebody today? Or, challenge her a little bit.
Yeah.
Um, and so I see that area as just a little slow in her development. But as far as my youngest, or the one before the youngest, the second to last one, she's a little more social. She has more friends,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
At school, but I'm always concerned about, how is she presenting herself, right? Is she maybe more, concerned about how she looks and all of
Yeah.
those things. So I make sure I build her self confidence because even though she may be
Okay.
more outgoing, she may just not be as she may be succumbing to peer pressure as well. So I'm always
Oh,
making sure
yeah.
that she knows who she is, that she doesn't have to dress a certain way to be popular or anything like that.
Right.
So each of them have different needs that I'm addressing at the beginning of the school year.
Okay.
Um, and so for every family, like I said, there are unique challenges. And then I have
Mhm.
one that is home, and he's 16. He was doing well, he was doing really well academically. He got to the top of his class,
Mhm.
all of that, and then he hit a bout of depression. And so I
Oh,
had to take him out to let him focus on his mental health. I had to do what I had to do personally for him
oh,
to have him focus on his mental health and not have such a high stress when it came to his education.
oh.
So sometimes you have to choose what's more important than the other.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, and I never thought I would have to deal with that in my own life, and I'm dealing with
Right.
clients who are dealing with those things. But I
Um,
guess the personal experience on my part helps my professional experience as well.
mhm.
Um,
Oh, okay.
So, like I have him learning, I have him in therapy. So
Okay.
I definitely believe in therapy. I'm a therapist. So I have him doing that. And
Yeah.
I'm exploring different options for him just to see him overcome this bout,
Okay.
whatever he's dealing with.
Is it homeschooling?
Yes. So he does an
Okay.
independent program where he can learn online at his pace
Okay.
while while we take care of what's going on internally.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so mental health affects our daily life, no doubt.
Yeah, absolutely. For us, usually I always think about, how Jamaican parents, like if they're upset in the morning,
Yeah,
it could really get to the kids leaving the house. So that's something that sometimes one of our daughters, well, we have twin daughters,
yeah.
and one would be ready like an hour before, and the other one, I don't know which one
Slow.
would. Yes, an hour after school starts.
Yeah,
It was always like always our drop one off, come back because we live close. And it's like, you still not ready? But
yeah.
you try so hard not to be upset, even though sometimes being upset comes first.
Oh yes.
Because it's like,
I guess
why are you not ready?
I can relate. And I've
Yes.
had those mornings. Oh my goodness. With
Yeah.
my I talked about my daughter Rachel.
Yeah.
She just has her pace is much slower than my than the average pace.
Yeah.
So, and she's better now, but she's
Okay,
still a
good.
slow dresser. She takes her time.
Yeah.
But when she was little, I remember the frustration of, girl, like, get it together. We got to be out the
Exactly.
house.
Yeah. Been there. Up to
Yeah.
12th grade. Like, seriously? Yeah.
Yeah. It is frustrating when you know
Yeah.
you have someplace to be. And I deal with all of them on that when I need to go someplace.
Yeah.
I tell them beforehand. I'm texting everybody way beforehand. We're leaving at this time. Do not have me waiting.
Yeah, but then I think about like when you don't want them to be upset going to school, but sometimes
Yes.
like you lose that control. You want them to go
Yeah.
in, be happy, but sometimes it's like
You lose
you
that
get
control.
yeah,
What do you do when that happens? When you do lose realize, okay, I was upset this morning. You can rectify that
yeah,
by, being human to your child. Like,
yeah,
mommy was just trying to get out the house, and it was not the my I was not my best self
right.
with you, but we're
Yeah,
trying to make this work for everybody. So let's try to do better.
yeah,
Yeah. So nobody's learning in the time when you're stressed and you're upset.
exactly. Exactly. Yeah.
So we always just have to go back and see if we can rectify our wrongs at times, because
Yes.
this is real life.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, the next day you try to do better, you're like hoping like nothing comes up because you don't want it to
Yeah.
carry through the week. In the evenings, it's
Exactly.
better, because you go to work, you come back, sometimes they're home or you have to pick them up. It's so much easier. But
Yeah.
usually it's the mornings getting them out the
Yeah.
house.
Absolutely. You mentioned being Jamaican. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think different cultures come with its certain temperaments, right?
Yes. Yeah.
And I'm very aware of the different cultures because as a therapist, I have to be culturally competent, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
So typically, there's some parents who, they're just irate all the time, and they just
Mm.
need to learn skills
Yeah.
in order to parent better,
Yeah.
and not just be just always parent out of emotion.
Yeah.
And I would say most of our Caribbean folks are very
Right.
emotional, and they don't know, but they can be very emotional parents.
Yes.
Very.
Yeah,
Yeah, like
absolutely.
we shouldn't be punishing out of our own emotions, but is what do we want the child to learn in this moment?
Right, exactly.
What would be the best form of discipline for this child? Because I have six of them, and I know all of them are not the same.
Right. None of them are.
Yeah, none of them are the same.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so you have to know what works for one may not work for the other. While
Yes.
one may listen as soon as you say something,
Yeah.
somebody may need a different kind of consequence, right?
Yes. Absolutely.
So in therapy with parents and children, I'm talking about the what may work based on their choice as
Yeah.
far as what they choose as parenting, whether that be being the permissive parent or the
Right.
authoritarian or authoritative. There are
Yeah.
different forms of parenting that one may be best suited for another or another.
Right.
Um, yeah, but then there are those extremes that you have to be like, no, this doesn't work, and that's against the law.
For
Yeah, and
real.
you could get in trouble. And
Yeah.
I'm reporting. And if somebody tells me something, and I haven't had a situation where I'm reporting anything, except when I was actually as a case manager, I had to do that,
Oh,
get
okay.
reports. But as a therapist, yes, I'm mandated to report any
Mhm.
form of abuse. But again, I'm working with the family to see what the cultural rhythm, what their culture is.
Yeah.
I'm looking at whether abuse is really happening. But I've had those cases.
Wow. Wow. All right, so let us just we can wrap this up. It's almost 15 minutes. So you could just let us know where we can find you, and
Okay.
I really appreciate your time.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Well, I can be found at family therapist Dallas at Gmail. I mean, familytherapistdallas.com. That is my website.
Okay.
Familytherapistdallas.com. DALLAS. And you can also email me. That's the best way to reach me is through email or text. SuzetteDBlunt@gmail.com. My name is Williams, but I still have that email. SUZETTE, the letter D as in diamond, then B as in boy, LOUNT @gmail.com. Um, and you can also call me or text me at 678-250-6026.
Okay.
If you're
Also,
free.
just do a thing for your podcast. Let's put that in
Oh
there.
yes, so I have a podcast called Married to His Will, and you can find me on YouTube, Suzette at Suzette Counsels. That's SUZETTE Counsels, as it sounds, COUNSELS. And I'm also on Instagram at as I am Suzette Counsels or Suzette Counsels. So I have two pages.
Okay, cool, cool.
Yes, and I'm also on Facebook, so find me there, Suzette Williams.
Awesome.
Um, and yeah, I love doing what I do with my podcast, and I would love to have you on too.
Uh, yeah, one day we could schedule that for sure.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. So
Thank
that's
you.
going well.
Yeah, thank you so much. And I always appreciate your transparency, your
Thank
honesty. I
you.
watch, listen to your podcast, and I'm like, wow, I just love how
Thank
open you
you.
are. So that's one of the things, one of the things of
Yes.
many that I admire about you.
Thank you so much.
No
Thank you so
problem.
much.
Thank you,
I appreciate it.
Suzette.
Thank you
All
for
right,
the encouragement. You take care.
all right, you too. Take care. Catch you
You want me
later.
to leave?
Yeah. Let's stop.